Alright, so this video is to show you how to code in VEX IQ Blocks, how to make a robot switch the front and the back to the back and the front, basically, so that if you have a mechanism on both ends of your robot, you hit a button, and instead of this side being the front, now this side is the front. Very exciting stuff, very useful to kids, especially kids without the kids that haven't been playing Xbox for 15 hours a day for the last 7 years. This will be helpful for them. So, typically when we have our, I've seen a number of ways to do this. I'm going to set up our velocities first for the left and right drive. And this is just what is standard stuff. Whoops, left and right drive. And the left drive is controller A, and the right drive is controller D. It doesn't show up on the picture here. But that will continually set the left and right drive to whatever controller A and D is. Controller A is up and down on the left side, and controller D is up and down on the right side. You can see that if you look at the controller at the numbers there. Okay. Then you need to spin. You need to spin them both forward, and of course if it's a negative number it'll go backwards, but the orientation is forward. So this will run your drive base. I didn't really note this yet, but I already included my controller and my left and right drive. If you don't have that, you need to do that. All these motion commands won't be there until you add the motors. You have to add your motors first. For your left drive, everything was the same. For your right drive, if you have a standard clawbot or a setup like that, you need to reverse it. If your motor is on a different gear than the one that your wheel is on, you might have to reverse it a little differently. Basically, if you want your robot to go forward and you give it the forward thing and it goes backwards, you have some motor reversing issues and you need to play around with it until you get it right. So let's close that devices window. It's kind of in my way. And let's move the window of me. Ooh, there I am. Hey. All the way up there now. Yeah, top of the screen, baby. All right. So, I want this to switch. Go to variables. If you don't have make a bow lane here, you need to get the latest version of Scratch, because this is going to make this like super easy. So, drive front. I'm going to call Boolean variable drive front. And when drive front is true, the front will be the front. And when drive true is false, the back will be the front. Okay? A Boolean can only be true or false. That makes it simple. What's nice about it is that it makes it really easy to switch. So let's go to an event, and let's say just our default button, E up. Let's say that E up is going to change it. Well, then E up needs to flip this drive front from true to false or from false to true. It's going to make it whatever it isn't. And that's pretty easy. So you're going to set drive front to whatever it isn't. So you're going to set drive front to not whatever drive front is. So if it's false, it makes it true. If it's true, it makes it false. So if you hit E up, it'll change this variable from true to false or from false to true. It'll just flip it. It's a light switch. Boolean variables are light switches. Did the light bulb just go off? Great. Okay, so this is going to affect what we, let me see. Sorry, I got some kids over there working on a bot. They're distracting me. So we're going to have an if here, and the if is just going to be based on the variable drive front. So if drive front is true, the top part will run, and if drive front is false, the bottom part will run. Well, when it's true, I want it to be a regular robot. Give me all of the, whoops. Why did it do that? Okay, when it's true, there we go. I want all this to happen. Okay? When it's false, I want another version of this. You're going to switch, right? The left and right drives will be, instead of D and A, they'll be A and D or whatever. And you're probably going to need to reverse these as well, right? Ooh, I messed this up. This needs to be right drive. There we go. Did you notice that like 5 minutes ago and you didn't tell me? So you're going to basically flip this down here. You could actually go to the motors and where is it? I thought there was a place where we could set the motor reversing or not. Maybe that was in the V5. In the V5 blocks, there's a lot more stuff here. Maybe I remember seeing it there. So you just switch it around so that when you hit the E up button, and it changes drive from true to false or from false to true, then instead of running this part, it'll run this part. And then it'll run this part, and then it'll run this part. That's it. This is really cool. This is good. It's not bad, you know? Okay. If you have any questions, as I tell the kids, ask someone who has a minute, because I don't. Peace. No, just kidding. Any questions, comments below, and shout out Westwood Middle School.